Live from the Gray Center Studio A, this is Bronco News Now. Featuring news with Mackenzie Weedle and Danielle Schenk. Sports with Joe Brown and Jared Fox. Entertainment with Kelly Cruz and Devin Wetland. And weather with Taylor Van Pelt. This is Bronco News Now.
Good morning and welcome to Bronco News Now. I'm Mackenzie Weedle.
And I'm Danielle Schenk. Today we will take a look at all the homecoming events across campus, the art gallery's monthly displays, and a few students who are making the trip across the pond for the Irish Fellows Research Program.
But first, our top story for today. The Hastings College family lost a dear member last week. Lois Rutherford, also known as Mom Ruth, was the resident director for Weir Hall from 1995 until 2014. Prior to her passing, Mom Ruth had to step down due to health concerns and will be dearly missed by not only Weir residents, but by the Hastings College community. Memorial services for Mom Ruth were held last Tuesday at Faith Lutheran Church in Hastings. From all of us here at Bronco News Now, may you now rest in peace, Mom Ruth.
Many students don't get the chance to see the many creations made in the Art Center throughout the year. The art department is looking to change that this semester by offering monthly exhibits in the gallery. September's gallery recently concluded, which was an alumni gallery featuring a wide variety of pieces. Our reporter Jay Brown will give you a look at what you might have missed.
If you are an art major, then you probably haven't noticed the permanent art gallery here on campus. I went and viewed the gallery myself while catching up with art professor Turner McGee.
This show is actually a collection of work from our permanent collection of art. And it happens that within our permanent collection we have a number of things about professors, former professors, students, former students. And so that's what we chose to focus on.
Each month a different show is shown in the art gallery along with a different theme each year. This theme focuses around alumni and students at Hastings College, such as Luke Irvin, who has created art for this month's show. Luke is in his senior year now at Hastings College and has been creating his art for a year and a half.
I've always, been really into art. It's been one of my favorite things to do since I was a little kid. It's in my family. My dad is a graphic designer. My grandpa is a graphic designer. I have two uncles who are graphic designer. One's an animator. Fashion designers, they're just all over in my family.
Professor McGee highly encourages students who have never been around the art department to visit this semester.
Well, I will modestly claim that this is one of the most interesting departments on campus.
I'm Jay Brown reporting live from H-Town.
Thanks, Jay. The Alumni Gallery looked like an interesting one for sure.
If you happen to miss on the viewing of the alumni collection but still want to see what the art gallery has to offer, then you're in luck as a new collection opens today. Reporter Russell Heitman gives a look at the new photography collection in the gallery.
The Hastings College Art Gallery opens its October exhibit today, Thursday, October 1st. The collection is entitled Recollections and features published photographers Rick Houchin, Dr. David Lovekin, and Brett Erickson. Erickson is currently instructing photojournalism at Hastings College, and Lovekin is a professor emeritus of philosophy at Hastings. Houchin is also a good friend of Dr. Lovekin and a photographer and journalist himself. Student Art Gallery Director Catherine Arias says the gallery differs from last month's show in the sense that the only art displayed is photographs.
This is just strictly photographs, black and white and color photographs. So it's a little more specific. And there's 3 different artists, so it's a different take on photographs.
According to Arias, Erickson wanted to depict a sense of openness and blank space with his display, which can be found in the back room of the gallery.
I do know that Brett Erickson had more of a theme with his pieces. I had a chance to speak with him, and he was really looking to make his part of the gallery appear really vacant and empty, and he was really interested in that part of his show, so that's something new in this specific show.
Houchin worked with Lovekin to photograph unincorporated towns and said in an interview with the Office of Marketing and Communications that their project wasn't just a journey to a handful of small towns, but was instead a glimpse of where we've been and perhaps where we're ultimately headed. The gallery is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Sunday 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Admission to the gallery is free. For HC Media, this is Russell Heitman.
The art gallery looks like it's going to be putting on another great show this month, so be sure to stop by.
Tomorrow, as a part of homecoming festivities, Hastings College will be hosting Bronco Connections. Bronco Connections is a networking opportunity for current students to connect with alumni through intriguing presentations and panel discussions. Alumni will share how they've taken their HC experiences and translated them into success in their careers in life. 11 different panels will take place at 10 a.m. Look on the Hastings website at hastings.edu under the Homecoming and Family Weekend schedule for all the names and locations of the panels.
This past month, Hastings College students departed for Ireland to participate in the Irish Fellows Program. Each year, students are given the opportunity to spend a month abroad and produce research projects based on their specific major. Recent students who have gone to Ireland are Sam Gentry, who studied the Irish surfing culture, Greg Puckett, who studied pub culture, and Kit Grody, who studied Irish publishing. New students going this year are Allie Baylitz, Nick Musgraves, Brian Whetstone, Rebecca Holcomb, Will Walters, and Amanda Miller.
One of the more significant library events of the year kicks off today at noon. Sam Bennett has the story.
Throughout recent history, many pieces of literature have been either challenged or outright banned from school and public libraries alike. Fortunately for those who enjoy those pieces, there is an entire week celebrating those books, Banned Books Week. I talked to Public Services librarian Pam Baumfalk at the Perkins Library, who talked about the importance of this event.
Basically, it's just an opportunity for organizations that are interested in the freedom to read and individuals to kind of recognize how fragile our freedom to read is and to celebrate it.
As with any good celebration, there are door prizes available to those who participate, including greeting cards, notebooks, t-shirts, and library card-themed socks. It is also recommended that students come to the celebration hungry.
We're actually having an edible book contest. We'll have entries brought to the library all morning tomorrow morning, and then at 11 o'clock they will be judged, and then at noon we'll eat them. And basically the idea is for people to create something edible that has been inspired by a book.
While most of the events will be held Thursday, the banned books will be featured throughout the week. For HC Media, this is Sam Bennett reporting.
Some of the more famous banned books include Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck and I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou.
Coming up after the break, we have our favorite weather girl, Taylor Van Pelt, tell us what we can expect for homecoming weekend weather and what we can expect for next week.
Stay tuned, you're watching Bronco News Now.
Welcome back, Bronco News Now. I'm Taylor Van Pelt here with your weather forecast. We've seen some changes lately that have brought the fall season into full swing. And I've got the temperatures for the next 5 days and then a new segment called Taylor's Temperature Tip of the Week. But first, let's take a look at what we can expect for today. Today we are seeing some patchy storms and small drizzles of rain. The high for today will reach around 65 degrees with a southeast wind of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Gusts will be as high as 20 miles per hour. The chance of precipitation is around 20% with a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. So make sure to be aware of that possibility of rain and keep an umbrella handy. Moving into tonight, we will see a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms, but those won't come into full effect until after midnight. It should be mostly cloudy with a low of 49 degrees. If we do get some consistent rainfall, you can expect around 1/10 of an inch. And now let's take a look at the rising temperatures across the state. Taking a look at Chadron with a high of 74, Scottsbluff and Sydney 77, Valentine 81, North Platte 80, and McCook 83. Moving a little bit closer to home, you can see Norfolk with a high of 76 and Lincoln and Hastings with a high of 75. And now let's take a look at what the state lows are going to be across the state. Chadron with a low of 42, Scottsbluff 45, Sydney 44, Valentine 47, North Platte 48, McCook 49. Again, moving closer to home, Norfolk 49, Hastings 49 as well, and Lincoln with a low of 50. And now let's take a look at the forecast for the next 5 days to see what we have in store for the homecoming weekend. As most of you know, it is going to be a fairly packed weekend with sports and other events, and unfortunately the weather might not cooperate. Friday, we will see a 40% chance of thunderstorms, and the high will be around 57 degrees. There's a low of around 45 degrees and a 60% chance of precipitation. We've got a jam-packed day of sports and activities on Saturday, so if you're going to be walking in the parade or going out to cheer on the Broncos, you better bundle up and bring an umbrella because there's a 20% chance of rain on Saturday, and the high's only going to be around 56 degrees. Saturday night, we'll have a 20% chance of showers, and the low should be around 44 degrees. Sunday closes out homecoming weekend, but there isn't a huge chance of rain, luckily. The forecast for right now is mostly cloudy with a high of 61. As for Sunday night, it should drop to about 46 degrees and remain partly cloudy. Our last week before fall break will begin with mostly sunny skies on Monday with a high around 69 degrees. Expect around a 20% chance of rain for the day. Moving into Monday evening, the 20% chance of rain will continue, but an added threat of thunderstorms will emerge. Expect mostly cloudy skies for the night with a low of 54 degrees. And finally, the Tuesday forecast continues with the trend of 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, so keep an eye on the sky throughout the week. There will be partly sunny skies with a high of 76 degrees. Tuesday evening will feature a 20% chance of rain and thunderstorms as well, and the high will be around 54 degrees. And that is what you can expect for the next 5 days. Here at BNN, we are all about safety, which is why we've installed a new segment called Taylor's Temperature Tip for the Week. My temperature tip is to check your wiper blades before the rainy weekend. It's important to ensure that your wiper blades are functional to keep your windows clear. Also, if you are planning to attend the sporting events on Saturday, I would suggest bringing your raincoat or an umbrella, or you will end up being a very soggy Bronco. And that's all the temperature tips I have for you today and your weather for this week. I hope that you will stay warm and dry during all the homecoming festivities that you have in store for you this weekend. After the break, Joe Brown and Jared Fox have This Week in Sports as well as your Fantasy Football Minute. Stay tuned. You are watching Bronco News Now.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Good afternoon, Bronco Nation. I'm Joe Brown.
And I'm Jared Fox, and we've got you covered with everything you need in Bronco sports this week. There's a lot going on, and we're excited to bring you all of this week's action. The Broncos men's soccer team took on Concordia on Tuesday in Hastings' second conference game of the year. I got a chance to help with the broadcast for the game, and here were my takeaways.
On Tuesday, September 28th, the Hastings Broncos men's soccer team took on the visiting Concordia Bulldogs. The last time the teams matched up was a close overtime win by the Broncos in the semifinals of the 2014 GPAC tournament, and the intensity of this matchup did not let down, with 4 yellow cards being handed out, 3 of which were against Hastings. Murillo Cerulli got scoring started in the 26th minute off of a Mark Touts through pass. Cerulli had a chance to extend the Hastings lead later in the half, sending a shot off of the crossbar. Concordia was never really able to get anything started against the Broncos' defense. They were able to manage only 6 shots on goal and could not get any of them past goalie Alex Geyer. Lucas Venegas added an insurance goal in the second half, putting the Broncos up 2-0, which is where the score would stay for the rest of the game. The victory puts Hastings at 5-3-1, while they're 2-0 in GPAC play. The Broncos will next take the pitch on Saturday at 7:30 against Dakota Wesleyan. For HC Media, this is Jared Fox.
Look for our coverage of Saturday's soccer game against Dakota Wesleyan on hcmediaonline.org.
Following the men's Tuesday night game, the Hastings College women's soccer team played Wednesday night against the Concordia Bulldogs. Sports reporter Garrett Catron has the action.
Hastings College women's soccer team square off against the 24th ranked Concordia Bulldogs in a top 25 ranked matchup. On a calm and cool night at Lloyd Wilson Field, the Broncos came out aggressive and established command of the ball early in the game and managed to put up 11 shots on goal in the first half and 19 total for the game. The Bulldogs were on their heels majority of the game and fared only 3 shots on goal throughout the entire night. In the 57th minute, junior midfielder Megan Cruz found the back of the net with the assist from Taylor Banner for the only goal on the night. The Broncos improved to 5-4 this season and 2-0 in conference play. For HC Media, I'm Garrett Catron.
The next women's Hastings College game will be the homecoming game this Saturday, October 3rd. Come out and support the Broncos as they take on the Dakota Wesleyan Tigers. You can also catch the game on hcmediaonline.org. Moving on to the shooting circuit, the Hastings College shooting team has been blowing away the competition lately. Grant Goff, Justin Mackey, and Charlie Buckles all earned top spots in their events and classes at the Wichita State Shooting on September 12th and 13th. Goff earned first place in ski and second place in sporting clays, both B-class. Mackey and Buckles, both A-class shooters, took first place in sporting clays and second place in trap, respectively. Last weekend at the University of Wyoming shoot, Marissa Christiansi took first place in ladies trap and second place in ladies ski, while Andrea Bierman took third in ladies ski. Overall, the Broncos' first team placed second in trap and is looking forward to their strongly finishing their season.
All right, fantasy football owners, it's time for your weekly Fantasy Football Minute with me, Jared Fox. It's week 4 in the NFL, and many notable quarterbacks are off this week because of bye weeks or injuries, and it could be a good chance to pick up a dark horse off of waivers. Bills quarterback Tyrod Taylor and Raiders quarterback Derek Carr are available in most leagues and could be a good pickup if you're looking for some points at the quarterback position. After last week's performance, Falcons running back Devontae Freeman's stock rose and would be a viable option in the flex position in your lineup. Veteran wide receivers Larry Fitzgerald and Steve Smith Sr. both are receiving a lot of early season targets, so look for that to continue as they both square off against defenses who have been giving up a lot of yards in the passing game. And of course, we can't go a week without mentioning Rob Gronkowski, but unfortunately he has a bye week this week, so Greg Olsen and Owen Daniels could be safe alternatives to play until Gronk is back next week. Good luck this week to all fantasy football owners, and tune in next week for your Fantasy Football Minute.
Up next, we'll have all your homecoming entertainment with Kelly and Devin, including looking at Greek Week events such as skit night, bed races, and chalk walk, as well as looking into what will be appropriate to wear to the homecoming dinner.
Stay tuned. You're watching Bronco News Now.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
What's up, Bronco Nation? It's time for Entertainment Heaven with Kelly
and Devin. Today in entertainment news, we are recapping the exciting homecoming events that went on this week, as well as looking ahead at what's to come this weekend and how to dress for the highly anticipated homecoming dinner. We have a lot to cover, so let's get started.
This Sunday was the start of homecoming here at Hastings College, and Skit Night was the first event to kick off the week. Reporter Jay Brown has the coverage on the event.
HC students decided to have a Sunday fun day by attending Skit Night, hosted by Russ Heitman. Students watched as fraternities and sororities competed for Greek points. This was the first competition to start off homecoming week. I caught up with Colt Krause one-on-one to see how long this event has been going on.
It's been going on for quite a while. I would say it probably started maybe in the late 80s. So I think there was only 1 year that they didn't have the Skit Night because of presidential inauguration.
This year's homecoming theme is Rockin' in HC since 1882. Each sorority and fraternity had to perform their swaggiest rock and roll skits in front of the judges and audience to win the Greek points. The faculty members that were chosen to be judges looked for specific things for the winner.
Originality, creativity, correlation to the theme for the week, uniformity, so like their outfits or how uniform the choreography is, crowd appeal and response, and then kind of like the overall impression.
After a rocking performance by the Bronco dance team, the sorority Alpha Omega won Best Skit by the judges. I asked them how does it feel to be ballers.
It feels good to be the ballers on campus.
I mean, I've never had that term referred to me before, so it's new.
This is the first time since we're juniors, since we've been in AR freshman year, we got third and then second, and so it feels good to get first.
Yeah.
I'm Jay Brown reporting to you live from H.
Congrats to Alpha Omega. They did an awesome job and definitely deserved first place. But I thought everyone looked pretty great. I would like to give a special shout out to my sorority, Chi Omega Psi. We will get the win next time. Did you have fun, Devin? I saw you out there showing off your skills.
Oh yeah, I had a great time performing, but I actually performed as part of the dance team and not for a sorority or anything, so we weren't technically allowed to compete, but if we had been, definitely wouldn't have been a competition.
Oh, I see. Well, there were some awesome performances that night, including the dance teams. But people get so creative. Pyro never fails to impress with their crazy stunts and scandalous dance moves, so they were definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, for sure. With all those crazy stunts, you could definitely say they were flying high amongst that competition.
Yeah, you could say that.
Bed races also took place Monday night in Kiewit. Reporter Sam Bennett has more information regarding this exciting event.
Following a great skit night last Sunday, Hastings hosted bed races Monday evening. Before the final race between each Greek organization, there were many other competitions that took place, such as the pudding game.
I had done the pudding game previously at the Greek games here at Hastings College. We do it second semester. It's where all of the Greeks come together and just play games against each other. And everybody really enjoyed the pudding one, so we thought we'd bring that one to this and possibly do it again in the fall, or in the spring, I mean.
The event also featured a tug of war, a pie eating contest, and a four-legged race. All the planning for creative competitions wasn't easy.
Well, we started planning like a month ago. We had our first meeting technically last year, but planning specifically for bed races was within the last 3 weeks, basically, and it's been a lot of work to get all of the games organized.
Regardless of who won, Hastings Greek students had a wild time.
It was a lot of fun. It was really stressful for us, but I think that most everybody had a fun time. So.
This is Tyler Murphy reporting with Jordan Brown.
That sounds like such a fun night. I remember watching the races last year, and there were actually like sparks flying out from under the beds because the metal frames were scratching against the street. And I just remember thinking that looks terrifying. Like, there's no way I would ever want to do that.
Yeah, one of the beds actually almost caught on fire last year, so they had to use one bed for the rest of the race. But I went this year, and they had it all under control. 2 beds, no sparks, no flames.
That's good.
But it was still kind of nerve-wracking to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I wasn't even on the bed or running, but I was watching, and it was kind of stressful. There was almost a couple collisions and stuff, but it was still a good time, real good time. On Wednesday, the infamous chalk walk took place at the chapel. All the Greek organizations took a portion of a sidewalk and created art that went with the homecoming theme, Rockin' HC since 1882.
One of the more colorful events for Homecoming Week took place Wednesday morning, the annual Chalk Walk. Typically outside the Student Union, the walk was moved this year to outside the French Memorial Chapel. With this year's theme being Rockin' HC, the chalk drawings were some of the most creative ever done. Taking first place in the Chalk Walk was Pyro Sigma, whose drawing was done by Russ Riley. Riley talked about the inspiration for their winning design.
This year, I had no idea what I was going to draw until I showed up to the chalk walk, and I was kind of playing with some ideas here and there. But basically, I came here and talked to our president, Justin, and I said, hey man, we need a pun with pyro that has to do with rock and roll. And he came up with the Pie Rolling Stones.
Overall, the event is an effective way to show off the creative sides of the Greek organizations. Riley said that it is definitely one of his favorite events of Homecoming Week.
I really like it. I guess, got volunteered since freshman year to kind of lead it, but that's okay with me. I like doing this stuff. I don't know, I really enjoy it.
The chalk drawings will be adorning the space in front of the chapel all throughout Homecoming Weekend. For HC Media, this is Sam Bennett reporting.
That event is seriously so cool. I'm always so impressed with what people can come up with. Like, I try and draw something and it just never turns out the way I want it to.
Yeah, I mean, that's really sad, but I don't really know your struggle. I'm actually a really good artist, and I even drew you up a little picture of what I would have done for my portion of the sidewalk if I participated, so.
Wow, that looks great, Cal.
Thanks, I know.
Yeah, I think we should probably hang that up in the studio somewhere.
Yeah, we probably should.
That's a great example of how liberal arts education really creates well-rounded students.
Okay, but on a real note, I took Intro to Painting last year, and my skills actually really did improve, so thank you, HC. That ended up being one of my favorite classes.
That's awesome.
Thanks. I'll show you my self-portrait sometime.
Oh, I can't wait. You know, maybe you should consider taking Intro to Drawing, too.
Okay, let's move on. So, the homecoming dinner is tomorrow night, and everyone should be super excited.
I know I am. And I know a lot of ladies on campus are contemplating the question of the century, which is, what am I going to wear? Well, have no fear, because Kelly and I are here to give you guys some great fashion tips.
That's right. Fall is coming upon us, so darker jewel tones are definitely in fashion. Rocking a navy, black, maroon, or dark green dress would be right on point. And if weather turns out colder than expected, you can always pair your dress with some cute tights underneath.
Yeah, that's definitely a great way to dress for the weather. And I know a lot of college students are on a budget, so you can just take a dress you already have and dress it up with some jewelry and stuff like that to make it seem a lot nicer.
Yeah, that's a great way to dress up a simple dress.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you guys for tuning in to Bronco News Now, and make sure you stay safe this weekend.
Yep, have a great weekend, HC. Happy homecoming.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Thank you for tuning in to Bronco News Now. Next week, we'll be covering how concussions have impacted